Hello, fellow teachers. How are you doing? I hope you are surviving. From what I've heard, things can be pretty stressful as we're trying to figure out how to run a virtual classroom. I had this idea in a conversation. I was talking with another teacher who mentioned pre-recording a video and then using that as a part of their classroom presentation, because I know one of the hardest things about teaching on Zoom, teaching virtually, is doing all the different parts. I mean, you're working hard to communicate the information, make sure the kids are understanding. You're also having to watch to see that they're paying attention, monitor the chat, share your screen, mute, unmute, all the things, you name it. You're trying to do it all, and it can just be a little overwhelming. So I want to show you a little trick that could be helpful to maybe make it a little easier for you. The idea here is that if you know you want to communicate something, a little piece of a lesson, and you can do it ahead of time, record yourself doing it ahead of time, and then during your live class session, rather than teaching it there in that moment, play the pre-recorded video that you had already made. And then while you're doing that, now you can be watching the kids, answering the chat, doing all those other things you need to do. Okay, now the cool thing is you can do that on Zoom. And so I'm going to show you how to use Zoom to make Zoom easier. Okay, so you can see my screen here. I'm going to open up my Zoom window. It might look a little different for you when you go to do it. But so here's you. You're at home on the weekend or later in the day or whatever. You are going to come and record yourself making this lesson. I'm going to do it here, and I'm going to show you a little example. Okay, so I'm going to open a new meeting. Doesn't really matter. It's just me. So here I am. No one's going to be joining me or anything like that. It's just going to be me doing my recording on here. Okay, so here I've got my Zoom room open. I may want to do some prep depending on the lesson you're going to do. I'm actually going to teach you real quick how to log on to Google Classroom, just so you can see an example. That's the video I'm going to make for my students. Okay, so to prep that, I'm going to have Google open and ready to go, that kind of thing beforehand. But notice right here on your screen, you have this option that says record. Okay, that's what we're going to be using. Sometimes this record button is hidden under the three dots. You got to click the three dots where it says more. That's where you're going to find the record button. But when you push it, it's going to give you two options: record to your computer, or record to the cloud. I recommend recording to your computer. The cloud is a little bit more complicated. You got to go and you got to find it. You got to download it. That was also the area where, if you heard Zoom was having privacy issues, it had to do with recordings that were going to the cloud. They fixed that, but for me and what you want to do, I think it's going to be easier just to record to your computer. So that's what I'm going to click, record on this computer. Okay, as soon as I do that, my video is starting. And so I'm going to now go into character and pretend like I'm making the video for my students, just like I'm making this video here for you right now. So here we go. I'm going to record on this computer. Notice that little button up there tells me I am recording. And I would say, hey students, Mr. Whitehead here, and we are going to teach you how to log into your Google Classroom. So I'm going to share my screen with you and show you where we're going to go. I'm going to find my stuff, and of course here I'm not working for me, but here we go. We're going to share my screen, and here we go. We're recording. I'm going to go and we're going to log into Google. Okay, so here we are. We're on our website. We've got Google open. First thing you want to do is sign in with your school account. So go ahead and do that. Log in on your school account. Once you've done that, you're going to notice the little waffle up here in the upper right. Click on that waffle, and you're looking for the classroom, Google Classroom. There it is. We are now logged in to your Google Classroom. This is where you're going to find all of your information. Okay, students? I hope that was helpful for you guys. That's how you log into your Google Classroom. All right? And then for you teachers, here's where I click Stop Recording. Okay, so I finished my lesson, taught my students how to log in to Google Classroom, and I stop recording. You are halfway there. Okay, you've now made your own video on how to do something for your students, your lesson that you're presenting. Okay, what's going to happen though is, in order for this to actually go through, I need to end my Zoom call. Okay, so now I'm going to go click over here, end meeting for all. As soon as I do that, notice this little dialog window comes up, tells me I am converting this recording onto my computer. Okay, so that's what I want to do. It's actually taking that little video that I made and it's going to store it now on my computer. It's taking it from Zoom and putting it here on my computer. Okay, so we are half the way there to what you're going to want to do when the time comes. So now I'm going to get a little window. It's going to show me where the file is. Here it is, Zoom file, or Zoom. I'm looking for the MP4 file. That's the video. So I could change the name of this file and call it Google Tutorial, or whatever I'm going to want to call it. I want to put it in a place that's going to be easy for me to find when I'm on my call with my kids. Okay, so I'm going to drag it onto my desktop. I find that to be the easiest. And when you get ready for your call, you're going to want to have it open too. So I'm going to actually open it up. I'm going to have it ready to go. I'm going to actually make this a little smaller so that I can see what I'm doing here. All right, so here's my Google tutorial. I might want to play it. Let's just make sure. There it is. All right, so I know it's working. And now, here I am. School's about to start. My kids are showing up. I've got my Google, or my Zoom call is now open. Okay, so now here I am. I'm on Zoom again, and my kids are coming in, and I'm talking to them, getting them all ready to go. And now I introduced the lesson that I'm going to show them, and I'm ready to show it to them. I'm going to click share screen. Here it is right here. It's got it open for me. So I'm going to click here and share. Oh, and you want to do this. Notice down here these two buttons. Optimize screen share for video clip and share computer sound. Those are very important. That's going to give you the best quality of video and audio coming through on the other end for the students. So I do that. I optimize and I hit share. It's going to now show up with that little green box. That is what my kids are seeing. They're seeing what's in the green box. Their computer screen is going to look like that. It will actually still have my little picture up there in the corner so long as I'm spotlighted. Okay, but that's a lesson for another day. Okay, but so here I am. I start the video.
Notice that little button up there tells me I am recording. And I would say,
mute this so that that goes on there, because I'm talking to you, not the students anymore. But in the meantime, what am I doing? Check this out. I can come on here. I can open up the chat. I can be communicating with the kids if they're talking. I can click this participants list. Now I can see my kids, and I can actually talk to them. I can mute or unmute them as necessary. If you want, you can even, shoot, there's a way. Oh, it's over here. It's this one here. So if you're where I'm seeing myself, okay, I'll be when I have more kids on the call, I can make my choices of what I want to be able to see. And if you do a larger view of multiple kids, you make it bigger, you'll be able to see more of the kids. Some of these, I'm assuming you're not on a Chromebook. Chromebook has different requirements, so you'll have to play around with it to see if it's what you like, okay? Now I can monitor the call. Meanwhile, my students are getting my lesson that I've already prepared in advance for them, okay? So I'm like multitasking here to make sure that they have everything that they need, and I can still do what I need to do, all right? My hope is that with this ability, you will be able to really focus on those other parts. You won't have to think so hard about the lesson. You got a clear lesson you want to teach, pre-record that in advance using Zoom, and then have it on standby, ready to kick into play when you actually get to it in your lessons, okay? I'm going to stop that, come back over here. I can even now end my Zoom call with my kids. I'm all done, or I'm back now talking to them and engaging them. My meeting's all done. I end my meeting for all. And then now here I am with my lesson at the end of the day. I'm going home, ready to relax, all right? So that is how you use Zoom to make a Zoom video that you can then use in your Zoom call. Awesome. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I hope it will make your lives easier. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. All right. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.